Warriors cross swords beneath the gaze of the ancient gods.
You think you can keep up? Watch over me, Mother. You.
Welcome. This is Top Tier Tips. Greetings everyone, this is Force Nature of Top Tier Tips, and I welcome you to another SoulCalibur 6 guide. In this session, we're going to be taking a look at the Master of the Chinese Sword, Xianghua Chai. Xianghua is a good character for players that like to dazzle their opponents with lots of stance transitions or mix-ups to keep them off balance. Or they just like having a lot of fast pokes that are relatively safe also. As I just alluded to, Xianghua is a fast character. She's got a 10 frame and I-10 AA. She's got a 14 frame BB, so that's basically the fastest there is in SoulCalibur 6. So you never have to worry about being beat out by like AA or BB battles. Let's say you're fighting someone like Cassandra or Taki that also have 10 frame AAs. The worst that happens is that you end up trading, so yeah, you don't have to worry about getting beat out. What I want you to do when you do get in close range with Xianghua, because yes, she likes fighting in close, is poking the opponent, for instance, with 3A. Alright, 3A, it's a tracking low. So it's pretty nice. The main thing about this move is that it does lead into Xianghua's Playful Ji Zheng stance or PXS stance. So if you press 3A2 or down forward A2, you end up going into that stance. In this stance, there's a very dangerous move with this PXSK. The opponent does not want to get hit by that move. If that move either like beats at a high, or I think if it like counter hits or intercepts a move, you will score a lethal hit. So the opponent does not want to get hit by that move. That move is pretty scary when Xianghua is in her PXS stance, which you'll also see is a big high crouch in stance. Like it tech crouches like really well. But talking about Xianghua's crouch and stance, she does have some really good crouching moves. Like this is full crouch 3A. This move is a really good low poke. And let's see, other moves. Wall Rise and B, good 16 frame mid that's can be used as like a punisher or like an intercept. Remember, because the move is coming out of crouch, it will generally have a little bit of a kind of window to beat up highs also, because this is Wall Rise and B, for instance. And also another move the opponent generally from crouch. I mean there's also AA, it's pretty decent, but generally the opponent does not want to get hit by full crouch 3B. Like this move is godlike.
Watch over me, Mother. You can't stop me. Do you give up?
Before I go on, I would like to thank Smart Esports and Trollcoin for endorsing this video. And if you like this video, smash that like button. If you didn't like this video, just hit the like button anyway, and don't forget to subscribe for more juicy 3D fighter content. Range is not Xianghua's friend, so just keep that in mind if you're planning on taking up the character. So in general, you do not want to be fighting that range with Xianghua. The only time you're going to be doing that is if you're essentially turtling your opponent, or playing like, well, like keep out or keep away. So if you have a life lead on your opponent, which I highly recommend trying to achieve with Xianghua, then you can occasionally kind of just hang back and just play safe with pokes, or just end up like punishing the opponent with launchers if they end up whipping anything. But in general, you want to be fighting close range with Xianghua. But first, at the start of a round, you want to be trying to get in with your opponent. A go-to get-in move with Xianghua is just simply your 6-6-A. 6-6-A is a great track and high poke. It does actually have like a couple follow-ups. There's 6-6-A-B. This is also good. The first hit, of course, is tracking. The second hit is not. It's just a, well, linear vertical. And there's even a follow-up after that, like 6-6-A-B-B or 6-6-A-B-A. So you have a jumping linear low, or a jumping horizontal mid, which are both kind of slow. So under most circumstances, just do either just 6-6-A or 6-6-A-B should be good enough. You can also get in with 6-6-B with Xianghua. Like, take note where 6-6-A is a track and high, so 6-6-B is a thrust and mid. 6-6-B also does have like a few follow-ups, even though they're all thrust and mids. For instance, there's 6-6-BB, like so. Gives you 40 damage. There's also 6-6-BB hold, which ends up giving you this break attack effect right here. You can follow it with 6-BB. The thing with 6-6-BB hold is that the opponent can easily sidestep They can easily just sidestep it and like launch you for free, so you do have to be a bit careful with that. That's why sometimes it's okay to just do 6-6-B or 6-6-BB. Other stuff you can do is 6-6-B hold, and then you end up going into one of Xianghua's stances. Like so. Come on, say it. She says, say your signature. There we go. I know, I just wanted to see the signature. Another thing you can also do is go into Xianghua, what's called Laughing Bea Her Hua, or BHH stance, or Retreating BHH stance. So it's like 6B4 or 6BB4, and I think even after the hold version. Nope, you can't do it. Just 66BB, you can go into retreat and you end up getting a GI. It's nice to have, but it's not really that necessary. You're usually just fine doing 66BB, or yeah, 66B or 66BB. Either one's fine though. What you want to be careful with this one is that the opponent may careful to like try and sidestep her GI, even though of course the break attack will usually keep GI attempts in check also. When you do get in on your opponent, what I want you to do is just annoy the opponent with lows. I already showed you 3A earlier, and you could also use like 1A. Alright, I'll just show you one thing. I mean, similar to 3A, where if you press down, you end up going into the PXS stance. If you end up doing 1A with Xianghua, alright, this is just a typical slow, low, sweeping low, right? But if you press the guard button, you end up canceling it into Xianghua's back turn stance. So from back turn stance, you can end up doing like back turn on B plus K. You stifle with the A, 2A. I mean, the main purpose of this is to try and keep the opponent like off balance or on their toes. You can also do like back turn K. If you do connect with a back turn B plus K, then you can follow up with like BB, or you can also follow up. You can also follow up with 6KA for decent damage. Also, along with the usual AA, BB, or like lows that I just like showed you just right now, Xianghua's 6B is also good. As you see right there, 6B4, you go into the retreating BHH stance, the retreating GI stance. There's also 6BA, which has a minus 10 on block low in 6BA. Like really though, like a crouching move like in minus 10. For most extents and purposes, you can't really punish that because it's crouching, and there generally aren't 10 frame crouching moves. So this move is a decent move for trying to just chip out the opponent, because you're gonna be doing that a lot with Xianghua. Her 2K is also pretty good. It's fast. It tech crouches really well. And of course 2A, it's 12 frame 2A, so it's always good. So Xianghua does have like decent low or kind of like crouching moves to work with. I mean, naturally, of course, the range is a little stubby, but that's, I mean, for most close range poking characters, that's kind of expected. But with trying to annoy them with like lows, or just trying like working throws into your game plan. Like I will also give you a little warning that Xianghua does kind of have like stubby throw range, so you do have to be kind of like a simple like AA can easily sometimes occasionally push you out of her throw range, so that's something you have to be a bit careful with. But usually when you're in close range with Xianghua, especially if you're at any sort of advantage, you're usually like completely in the driver's seat over your opponent. 1K is a nice low poke, whereas 3K is a nice fast mid poke if you need a fast mid poke. I will give you a warning that Xianghua doesn't really have a fast tracking mid. Her 3A is a low, and her 66A is a high, so as for tracking mids, you're at a bit of a loss there. Like the third hit of AAA is a mid, but in general, in that case, you're just gonna have to just use your highs for tracking. 4B is a nice 12 frame poke in the face. So right here, this is 12 frames to the opponent's face. This move is just good in general. It's just a really nice thrusting poke. It does have a couple follow-ups just to keep the opponent in check. 4BB. So right here it goes high and low, or you have a tracking mid right there. 4BA. So right there, 4BA is a nice follow-up. But under most circumstances, you're fine just doing just 4B. But so under most circumstances, you're going to be using 4BA, and the main purpose of 4BB is just to make sure that the opponent occasionally checks their ankles also. The primary mix-up with Xianghua is to be trying to set up either full crouch 3A, or basically making the opponent afraid of 3B. the thing is that full crouch 3A is a really good unreactable low-high string. You can even hold down 3A, and you go into Xianghua's silent Ji Sheng stance or the just kidding stance. And of course, full crouch 3B is a safe launcher, not normal 3B. This one's unsafe, but full crouch 3B is fully safe. So essentially, any time you have an opportunity to chuck this out, you basically can. So essentially, so that's how you can also get the opponent. You can chip them out with this though, because when you're crouching, again, like I said, the opponent does not want to get hit by full crouch 3B. At mid-range, your objective with Xianghua, quite frankly, is usually to just get in on your opponent. Alright, I already showed you earlier that 66A and 66B are, 66B or 66BB, has basically going to be your go-to for trying to get in on your opponent. However, other good moves that you can use for mid-range is, for instance, if you're turtling your opponent, so if you have the life lead and you're basically hanging back, a move you can use for any time that the opponent looks like they're about to whiff with you, or a move you can use to kind of backfeit the opponent, is Xianghua's 4-4B, or back B. This move is really good. Like, especially against a character like Talum, that is, or other characters that are like really short ranged. This move can actually really ruin their day, because it's just that this move takes a step back really well. It ends up avoiding most moves pretty well, and it's just a good kind of defensive tool. Xianghua has two primary safe launchers. The first one is full crouch 3B, and the other one is 2-2B. Alright, I also pointed out earlier that Xianghua does not have a fast or a good go-to horizontal mid. The reason why that is because her 2-2B is just like crack. It's just so damn good. Like this move, as you see it ends up sidestepping a little bit automatically every time you do like 8-8B, 2-2B. So this move is just like full crouch 3B. This move is a safe launcher. So I mean, this move is it's really good. It's basically one of Xianghua's scary moves that her opponent has to kind of worry about. So, like in during neutral game, like if the opponent whiffs, you can either whiff punish with this, you can whiff punish with full crouch 3B, you can use a normal 3B. Like if you could do it's possible to actually do what's called instant full crouch 3B, but I know it takes quite a bit of practice to do, because obviously if you don't get it, you'll get the unsafe 3B. So, but if during the neutral game, you can use these moves as go-to whiff punishers with Xianghua. You can also punish with like 6-6B and stuff like that. But like this move is like a scary move the opponent always has to kind of like concern themselves with. So like feel free to use this relatively liberally, because you see like anytime you sidestep a move, then you can sidestep with this. But be careful though that the move does actually, what it does is the direction you move, and it ends up stepping in the other direction. But it's still just a really good sidestep launcher. Occasionally you can use Xianghua's B plus K stance as, you can use it as a little bit of a neutral tool. It only really has one true follow-up out of it, is B plus K B. So it's either B plus K B or B plus K B hold, and you get the break attack version. So yeah, all you have is this linear move out of it. The main thing about this move is that it's a tech crouch stance, so it's a high crush stance. It goes under highs, and it effectively sets up Xianghua's good while rising moves. So you can use like while rising AA, the very good while rising B, while rising K, and of course that it also sets up the while rising moves. That basically also means it sets up the full crouch moves. So that includes full crouch, full crouch A, full crouch 3B. So as right there, you can do the move, then end with like full crouch 3B. So like a bunch of good options. If you haven't guessed, Xianghua's crouch game is just really good. A dangerous move that you can use around mid-range with Xianghua is her 4-4A. Alright, 4-4A in itself is just a pretty normal horizontal mid-poke. However, if you end up holding it down, you end up getting this pretty big stun right here that allows for guaranteed follow-ups, and I already like showed you a little like combo that you can do with it earlier. So yeah, essentially the main thing about this move is that it high crushes really well. Its only weakness is that it's a bit slow when you hold it down, and if you just do it normally, it's not really much of anything. But the held down version high crushes really well, and it leads to a really dangerous stun when it does connect. So I do recommend trying to implement this into your playstyle. 4-4-A is also a 2-on-1 that's advantage on block, so you can keep up your offense when it gets blocked also. The two stances that you'll most commonly end up implementing the most with Xianghua into your playstyle will be the Silent Ji Zheng stance, also known as the Just Kidding stance, and the Playful Ji Sheng stance, also just basically this crouch down stance. I'll show you some go-to transitions in the SXS stance first, like 5AA, AK slide. Some other ones are like while rising A hold, full crouch 3A. That one's also good, and 6-6B is also good. And now I'll show you some of the good transitions that you can use as go-tos off of the PXS stance. Alright, for starters, you can actually transition into PXS off of SXS. Like for instance, you might have seen off of my full crouch 3A. If you press down, yeah, then you end up going from the... You go from SSX straight into PXS, so you can end up combining the two. So let's see, so the first good transition is just simply going off of SXS. Another one you can do is, of course, I already showed you 3A, 2A. 6B2 is okay-ish. And also, I'll just let you know right now that Xianghua's A plus B, this is her break attack. It's a slow, linear telegraphed high. So it's not really that good in itself. What makes this move good is if you press forward, you just cancel it and go into it right away, so then you get a somewhat fast high with decent range. You can also press A plus B then 2, then you go into the stance. So this is what basically makes Xianghua's break attack decent. And it's also another decent PXS transition you can use kind of on approach too. Xianghua's Bea Her Hua stance, or the BHH stance, is also one of her GI stances. This will end up seeing less usage than her normal SXS or her PXS stances, but there's still like some use for it. Like for instance, for her this BHH can end up GI in horizontals. A couple go-tos can be out of the SXS stance. You can press B plus K, and right there you GI horizontals. And another one is also the one out of her. And you can also do it out of her PXS stance. So for the BHS transitions, you're most likely to just do the ones that kind of protect yourself out of your stances. Whereas the normal BHH stance is for protecting yourself against like horizontal moves and stuff like that. The Laughing BHS, also known as the retreating BHS, so basically this one right here is used to protect yourself against vertical attacks. Similar to the normal BHS, this one's not going to see as much usage as the normal XS stances. But I'll just show you a couple like go-tos right now. Like the one off of 6-6BB is fine, and the one off of 4-4B is also pretty good. You can use stuff like 4-4A hold, which again is advantage on block, and you see gives you about 5%. You can also use stuff like A plus B. See, this one runs it up quite well and leaves you at like plus 10 or quite a lot, but of course it's a linear high. The benefit about this is, again, you can just do A plus B 6, and you see it comes out fairly fast, and it runs up the guard gauge really pretty well, like pretty decently. Other moves you can also use is like 2-2K. See right here, this leaves you at around like plus 2 and puts the opponent in full crouch, and it runs up the gauge pretty well, but of course it is a bit of a slow move. But if you know you're sidestepping something, then you can usually get this move out like pretty easily. 2-2B, of course, is just a good move in general, and you see whether it gets... It's safe if you're blocked, and if it's safe if you're blocked, and of course when it hit, it ends up launching the opponent. Full crouch 3B also pretty good. Another move that you can also like use is stuff like 6A plus B. The nice thing about this move is that it is a GI attack that's mainly, but if it gets blocked, you're only -10. So as long as the opponent can't punish I-10. Like I know Cassandra technically can't, and Xianghua can do it to herself. But for stuff that's like -10, it's usually okay to put on the opponent's block. It's usually not the concern. So you can use this move occasionally. 6BB is okay. It's also like it's also reasonably safe, and of course you can mix it up with 6BA also. You can also implement moves such as SXX B right there. You can just end up do just a normal B version, or you can hold it down and get a break attack. You do have to be careful about opponents wanting to try and sidestep after it. So a big thing with Xianghua is mixing up your timing on moves. 6-6B is another decent move you can put on the opponent's block, and of course, we got follow-ups to go along with that. And while Rising B is just kind of a good move in general, and it does also run up the guard gauge really well, along with being reasonably safe. As for breaking the guard gauge, you're going to be using moves such as Full Crouch 3B, While Rising B, 6BB, 66BB, 6A plus B, 22K, 8 plus B 6, 44B, 4KK, A slide KK, so or even normal 3B. So there's like a bunch of things you can end up using. The most common ones you're probably going to be using is like full crouch 3B or while rising B. Oh, and full crouch 3B plus K is also a really good move for both running up the guard gauge or breaking it. Xianghua's throw game is kind of interesting. For starters, her neutral throw does 50 damage, and sometimes it seems like it can like randomly switch sides like so. Her back throw or back A plus G throw does 45 damage, and this one also has the ability to switch sides, so not really that much damage. Her left side throw deals 62 damage, pretty good, leaves the opponent close by. And her right side throw does 60 damage, pushes the opponent a little further away, but still not really that far away. And her back throw gives you a cool 70 damage. Xianghua has a standing command throw 214 A plus G or quarter circle back A plus G. It deals just 40 damage, but it also restores a bit of your guard stamina. And this is where Xianghua's throw game gets a bit more interesting. Similar to Astaroth or Cassandra, Xianghua has crouch throws. Alright, this is her normal 2A plus G throw. As you see, it ends up chucking the opponent to the other side for a decent 50 damage, and Xianghua ends up grounding herself. Anytime the opponent grounds Xianghua or she grounds herself, this is where things can get a bit interesting. If the opponent tries to engage in Okazemi, so they try and maintain pressure while you're on the ground, just press A plus B. This is Crybaby. So anytime the opponent tries to maintain pressure on knockdown after you, just stuff them with Crybaby. This is where Xianghua's on her back, and I'm not as big a fan of this one. The one I tend to like is the one where, let's say if you were to do 4-4 A plus B G, you end up grounding yourself. And there's this one in the front right here. So this is a forward Crybaby. Let's see if I can just show it a bit closer. See, it does minuscule damage, but the sole point that Xianghua has the ability to stuff an opponent's Okazemi is pretty amazing. Xianghua's 1 A plus G throw, or her down back 1 A plus G throw. Right, this one ends up switching sides, and Xianghua ends up jumping over the opponent. The main thing about this is after you input 1 A plus G, input B plus K right after. And right here, and you can hit, and you can end up continuing the combo afterwards. It is possible to try and just frame this move afterwards, but it's kind of tough to do. I don't know if I can get it. Alright, just like that. And what you can end up doing is just end up just continuing like a combo over there. So if you just want to take the damage and switch sides, just do 2A plus G. But if you want to like get a little combo, then you use 1A plus G, B plus K. Xianghua also has stance throws. For instance, out of her SXS stance, just press A plus G, and you end up getting this small twirl around throw here. Gives you 25 damage, leaves you at a little bit of advantage. You can also do it out of the PXS stance also, and you get the same throw. You also get access to Xianghua's crouch throws out of those same stances. They're just the same throws, basically. See, it's basically just the same throws if, for instance, you were just to do them from neutral. When you have the opponent at the wall with Xianghua, this move becomes a lot more dangerous. This is 4K. This is a really fast wall slamming move with Xianghua. It's also really good for rigging the opponent out. So when you have the opponent at the wall, make him fear this move, and you can also wall slam the opponent with full crouch 3B if you so desire. Let's look at Xianghua's Soul Charge moves right now. Alright, her Soul Attack 236 A plus B plus K. Alright, what ends up happening is that's just the normal one, but there's actually a couple follow-ups that you can do off it. So you get an extra attack if you do 236 A plus B plus K A. And let me just waste the meter right now. And now if you were to do it, press the A, but press the guard button, then you end up canceling into the SXS stance. It also has a GI attached to it. You also have the ability to go into the PXS stance by doing 236 A plus B plus K A2. Out of Soul Charge, Xianghua ends up receiving augments to her A string, like AABB. You can also do AB, which stuns the opponent and allows you to fall up with 6BB. You can also do AABK, where you end up finishing with the Gaia break, which is just like normally 2B plus K, and it has the ability to stun the opponent if they get hit by the quake. So that's a move right there. Xianghua's 6A string also gets a couple of augments. So normally you just have 6AA, which is just a high-low double horizontal string. But at a Soul Charge, you get 6A-KK, which is a high-low mid-string, or 6A-K-2K, which is this high-low-low. Xianghua's 3A string also gets an augment. Normally, you just have 3A. You can go for a high K, or 3A2, which ends up going in the stance. But on the Soul Charge, you get 3AA, so now you get a mid option to go along with the other options that you normally have. Xianghua gains access to a new slide move out of Soul Charge, BK, like so, BK, or you can do BKB and get a little extra follow-up hit after it. And Xianghua gets a new follow-ups off of 6K. Normally you just have 6KA or 6K A plus B, which would end up swinging the horizontal, which is a mid-horizontal where A goes to the left and 6K A plus B would go to the right, for instance. Out of Soul Charge you get 6K BB, which could be a pretty beastly move if you can connect it on the opponent. You can even do it like in corners, like I think at the end of combos too. And if you want to cancel out of it, just do 6KB hold, and then you go into the SXS, which I also mentioned earlier, always gains a GI while under Soul Charge. Xianghua's already good 66K, gets a little bit of an augment out of Soul Charge in 66KK, so the 66K is a good safe mid, and you get the low option, which is a lot like 1K. And also, the 66K also gains some additional follow-up, so 66K AA, and then there's a couple enders you can do after that. 60 AAK or AAB. It's like this move is pretty much just like the... It's basically just like the AB slide, so like same two kind of follow-ups at the end. So either a mid or a low follow-up at the end, though you don't really have to worry about the follow-ups like too much. Just doing the AA, it's basically kind of like a mix-up. You can either do the ender or not. Xianghua's are 66 A plus B, ends up gaining a bit of an augment while under Soul Charge, so you can do 66 A plus B. Well, 66 A plus B, then a B ender at the end. This move's kind of like... I'm not a huge fan of the move, but it's kind of nice that he ends up getting an additional follow-up. A new move that Xianghua ends up basically gaining access to under Soul Charge is this move right here. This is 66 B plus K. Look at this range. And to top it off, it even gets a follow-up. Right there. I mean, that's some beastly damage. Oh, and if that's not, and that's not even the best part of it. You can even cancel it with the G. So if you do 6 B plus K B G, then you end up canceling it. So yeah, so this is a really crazy move that you get out of Soul Charge with Xianghua. And also Xianghua's SSXB, the move ends up getting a bit of a upgrade. For instance, normally out of normal, so not Soul Charge, then the normal B is a normal move. Under Soul Charge, it becomes a break attack. So, and normally this move would normally be a break attack, but under Soul Charge, it becomes an unblockable when you do the held B version. And also, oh, not that move. Let me try. Oh, this move. This under Soul Charge, so you end up getting a follow up on that throw I just did right there. So just press the B button afterwards. Then you end up getting significantly better damage off it, and it ends up making that throw a lot more dangerous. And you can also do this throw out of the PXS stance. Naturally, Xianghua received some new moves in Season 2, and I've used quite a bunch of them throughout this guide. Alright, for instance, Xianghua got the new AK slide. So you can end it with AKK or AKB. So it's kind of like a bit of a slide input. That move, of course, is just like Xianghua's... it's like her Soul Charge 66K AAK, or of course AAB. I just showed you that right now. So again, you can have the same like mix-up at the end. You can also just do AK slide, hold it down, then you fake out into SSS stance. Some more moves that Xianghua's gotten out of Season 2 is, alright, for instance, this is Xianghua's while rising AA, so it's a good high crushing double horizontal mid. If you could do it 2 times, of course. If you were to just simply hold it down, you go into the SXS transition. That is new in Season 2. Also, Xianghua's full crouch 3A. This is a really good move in itself. If you hold down the A, you transition to SXS. That is a new stance transition in Season 2. And out of Xianghua's PXS stance, so the crouching stance, she got a new move in there that's PXSAA, which is a low mid string. And also, if you hold it down, then you can transition to an SXS stance. That's also new. And one last thing that Xianghua did get is a new BB out of it. Despite looking like a bit of a super launcher-like move, it doesn't really actually allow for any sort of like follow-ups or like anything like that. I'm not a huge fan of it. It ends up like looking cool, and I think you can like kind of like ring out with it. You can just use the advantage to try and like go for like some Oki after or something like that. Alright guys, that's it for now. Just a couple more things I just want to just go over. I don't think I've taken a look at Xianghua's full crouch 3K yet. This is a pretty cool move. So it's a high, well, it's coming from crouch, so it's a high crushing move. It's pretty similar to Xianghua. It's very similar to Xianghua's PXSK move, like I just showed you right there. The main purpose of this move is if the opponent, well, I mean, aside from being a good high crush, if the opponent happens to like, well, jump at you, then you'll end up scoring the lethal hit. And there's also a fault right there in 3KB. So if you end up scoring the lethal hit, then the B option will connect very easily. You can also get this like this A plus B like follow up. You can also get it off of the BHH stance. So like 2-2 B plus K. Like so. So just do 2-2 B plus K, then press A plus B, and you'll get it. And also one last thing, Xianghua's unblockable 4B plus K, so it's a linear, typical kind of generic unblockable. It is what it is. Not a huge fan of it, but yeah, she does have an unblockable. Alright guys, that's it for now. Once again, I'd like to thank Smart Esports and Trollcoin for endorsing this video. And as always, if you like this video, smash that like button. If you didn't like this video, just hit the like button anyway, and don't forget to subscribe for more juicy 3D fighter content. And if you'd like to support the channel, feel free to join Top Tier Fighters. The support does help, and I do appreciate it. And if you have any further questions, feel free to contact me on my YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. or you can also contact Force Nature on 8-Way to Run. And I know I might be slightly late, but I would like to wish you guys a happy Lunar New Year, so happy Chinese New Year. Anyways, this is Force Nature's sign off. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time on Top Tier Tips.